Hello and thanks for joining. So today we've got an Electrotren model, it's number 5000 and it represents this old-timer wooden coach. Now Electrotren is a Spanish company and I've had some of their stuff before. It's not very common over here in the UK, so it's quite interesting that I picked up this coach. It is actually one of 4 that I've got, so we're going to have a look at it today. So this model comes in this plastic box and on it you can see it says made in Spain and you have the Electrotren logo up here. A Scala HO scale and 187 here, a Scala for scale obviously. On the back you just get another Electrotren logo here, nicely moulded into the plastic, and here you have made in Spain. So let's get this open and we'll have a look at this coach inside. So what we've got here is a very attractive coach and it is a very old timer as well, and it's also an old model. So here we have this veranda with its little railings and little grills that have been added on. And it's got this additional handrail here, as well as these really nice brackets up at the top here as well, moulded in black plastic. We have these little red flashes that have been added in at each corner of this railing, and there's a ladder going up to the roof. You can see as well these brake pipes have been picked out in white. Now I think that might have come from the factory like that. It certainly looks like it, but maybe the previous owner has possibly painted these. They haven't done it very well down the bottom of the pipe there on this one, and this one here is missing it up the top. So this might have been done by a previous owner, or it might have come out the factory like that. It seems unusual that Electrotren would not paint it correctly though. It also has these steps coming down to the ground, and you can see that it has a bit of moulding flash on them. And you can see on the veranda floor it has a representation of wood moulded in the same colour as the steps. It looks to be an extra piece that has been added in there. There's some really bad moulding marks on the chassis here. It goes across the buffers here and also on the buffer beam as well, so that's quite unusual. I usually find that Electrotren is very good. This isn't looking that great in that respect. As we look up on the roof, there's some details of wooden planking here which has been picked out in a lighter brown. The rest of the roof is this dark grey colour. And as we start to look down the side of this carriage, it's been moulded in this brown colour to represent wood, and you can see that it has these planks all the way down. It has some logos here, MZA and a 2 as well, so maybe this is second class, and those have been picked out in gold. Those have just been moulded into the main piece of plastic. And as we move down the length of the carriage, the planking continues on the bottom part of the coach. Some nice window surrounds, all just one piece moulding though, and then there's some other numbers here, the running number of the carriage as well as the 2 as well, and there's a little star as well. Looking down at the black chassis on this coach, it has some details on it and it has this nice bracing here along with a rivet detail on that, and at the end you can see that there's rivet detail as well to indicate where the steps are attached to the chassis. There is a little bit of a gap here on this carriage. I'm not sure whether that's just indicative of age or maybe it was a manufacturing fault, and you can see that it moves a little bit as well. But I'm going to be quite sympathetic on this because it looks quite detailed and it also is quite a vintage model as well, I think. Looking here at the end of the coach, the door has some glazing there on the window, and that glazing extends down the whole length of the carriage. There's no glazing at the top here, it's just on this main part, but it is quite clear. Certainly not flush fit, that's for sure. But inside it has a lighter colour brown moulding of the seats there as well, which match up with the windows. It's really quite nice that it even has some ridges on the seats to represent upholstery. Looking underneath, it looks like we have metal bogies here which are held on with little circlips and studs, and it looks as well like we've got pickup here as well, maybe to power some lights, but I don't actually think this has got some lights, but I'm making the assumption there that it would be quite easy to do that if you wanted to. There's a lot of detail on the bottom of the chassis here, all the planking on the bottom here and the bracing and the pipe work as well for the brake gear and various tanks and other bits and pieces as well. They've really gone to town on the detail underneath here. The sides of the bogies are also very nice. There's a lot of rivet detail there and the springs are picked out quite nicely. There is brake blocks there, but they're nowhere near the wheels at all, but it is a nice looking bogie nonetheless. And then we've got these couplings which are made of metal. They're just attached onto the metal part of the bogie. So let's see how much this coach weighs. So this coach weighs 171 grams. So overall, this old-timer coach from Electrotren I think is actually quite an attractive model. It does have some small limitations in the moulding and there's not a lot of decoration going on here, but some of the things I like about this model include the veranda area where it has all the railings moulded in as extra parts. It's really quite delicate but really quite nicely done, and the interior also looks really good. I think it would definitely benefit from some lighting inside this coach. It doesn't seem to be a difficult thing to add onto it because of the bogies, so I think that would really enhance and bring to life the interior, as well as having some passengers as well. The small minor painting details on the vacuum pipes on each end I think can be sorted quite easily, and again, like I said, I'm not 100% sure that came from the factory like that. There's some nice painting on the roof as well of the brown to represent the planks. It's not great on the edges though, it does look as though it's just been on the surface and not the edges of the wood, so that could benefit from a little touch up. So these coaches offer a lot of opportunity to enhance them if you wanted to buy them, but they're very unusual, and vintage Spanish rolling stock must be really quite difficult to get hold of, but these are going to go onto eBay because I don't have any other Spanish rolling stock at the moment and I'm not modelling the Spanish railways. So you've got an opportunity to buy these if you want. Check out my eBay shop, I'll put a link in the description below. For now though, I'll put one of these on the turntable so you can see all the way around. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and you can subscribe for more. But that's it for today. See you next time.